All right, we're going to do a video today. We're going to talk about testosterone, how to raise your test levels. Full natty bar. Let's get into it. I'm going to be pussy down here. Ooh, little fuss. Oh, little fuss. Basically, so I've got a question from a viewer asking about testosterone, how to raise your levels naturally. So this person, they've used some exogenous anabolic steroids in the form of testosterone cypionate. They had a vial of it, and they've been injecting it, and they've stopped. And he said, I haven't need PCT, aka post-cycle therapy. Did this months ago. My levels were tested recently, and they had a 8 nanomoles a litre, whatever it was, which is low. The borders between 10 and 30 here in Australia. In the US, they use a scale of about 200, is it picograms or something, to like 1,000 being the max. So what's the optimum testosterone levels? These cats are going crazy. What's your optimum testosterone level? It depends on the person. All right. So some people just have higher levels naturally than others, you know. And you got some people like Sean Baker and about a million other testosterone users who inject themselves twice a week and get super high levels of testosterone, like up to 2,000, 3,000, even 4,000, you know. And they just have, you know, that massive testosterone sort of effect. And then you have guys who maybe sit around, you know, 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 to get that, you know, Matt does fitness, guys like that, or Nick Bear, those fake natty sociopaths who lie about using steroids. And I've got no problems with people using steroids, but if you're selling people a product like a supplement or a coaching program, and you're staunch and swole, and you're claiming you're all natural, but nobody you train looks like you. There's plenty of people that I train or advise, and they're way faster than me out the hills. Way faster. They run fast. You know, at my events, I'm not the fastest guy, you know, which is proof that my program works. Go to Sean Baker or Nick Bear or Matt Does Fitness, and none of the guys will look like them, you know. Simple as that. So in Thailand, we all look the same pretty much. We're all, you know, the cyclists and runner guys are all lean and running pretty well. So that's a red flag right there. Anyway, I digress. How to raise your testosterone levels naturally. Now, I've used anabolic steroids myself, done many videos on that topic. It's a topic of very great personal interest of mine. Let me just angle this hat. This is very bright. This hat definitely does help with the eyes. It's a personal interest of mine is hormones. You know, women are given estrogen in the contraceptive pill, progesterone, things like that. At age 15, you know, you get given the steroids basically by your local family doctor as a woman. Even if you've got a few pimples or whatever, let's get you an estrogen. I don't think, personally, giving estrogen or progesterone as a contraceptive, in my opinion, is ethical at all. You know, I don't agree with that. If you have a medical need for it, okay. If you have, you know, have ovaries or whatever. Same with testosterone. A lot of guys using testosterone don't understand. They don't need it. You know, like if you do take testosterone, understand it. If you take it continuously, it'll shut down your natural production. So just understand that from day one. Don't just go, I want to look like Nick Bear. I'll use the steroids he's using. Start jabbing up, and then you stop, and then your testosterone levels go whoosh, down. You know, and you're, I feel depressed, I'm like apathetic, I'm feeling crazy, blah, blah, blah. Then that is because of your, you know, testosterone. I'll call that testosterone abuse. So how to get your levels raised naturally, that's the question, is, well, you've said you've only done one vial, which is generally 10 mils, which is generally about, you know, generally about 200 milligrams of test per mil. So 10 mils, that's 2,000 milligrams, not a lot. Someone like Sean Baker or Nick Bear would probably use about 1,000 microgram a week, you know, up to. So that's like a 2-week dosage for the average staunch soldier. Right? So what you've done is not much, but I suspect you've probably done more if 3 months later your T is only 8. I suspect if you use maybe some ancillary DHT sort of compounds or whatever, you know, I suspect that maybe you've done a bit of a longer cycle, or maybe telling the truth, maybe you had low levels to start, and maybe that's why you got on T. I don't know. You didn't give me the full picture, all right? So if that was the case and you were suffering from hypogonadism, That could be pituitary related, could be testicle damage or trauma. If you're an MMA fighter, often they have low T levels from getting boxed in the head. So that can lower your T. You want to find out the cause of low T, okay? So if it was just because you've used steroids, which lower your testosterone, then it'll come back on its own accord, you know? It'll come back on its own accord. Even if you do nothing, it'll come back. And people say you can do PCT and HCG. Yeah, that'll bring your numbers up on paper, but what's it doing, you know, inside? Like, the HCG will trigger your Leydig cells to produce more testosterone, get them going. But as soon as the HCG is out, then, you know what I mean? You have to let your pituitary and everything get going on. Otherwise, you can give these exogenous hormones again, get your levels up, but your nuts ain't working like they used to. All right? So if you do nothing, then things will go on. But again, I'm not an expert on that. I'm not, you know, this is the stuff that I've learned and read and been told. I'm not 100% on this like I am with nutrition. Nutrition, I know 100%. Weight loss nutrition, that's boom. The anabolic side of things, just personal interest, I'm learning more and more. But from my experience, yeah, if you use nothing, your T levels will come back up to normal, what you were beforehand. Definitely. It might take a week, it might take a month, it might take 6 months. Depends on how, you know, much you used, for how long, and what you did. Okay, so it's like, you know, I can go and drink a cup of coffee tomorrow. I've had a cup of coffee since 1999, and technically I'm a coffee drinker again, but I've only had one cup of coffee. You could go and take steroids. You'll give yourself an injection or a pill or a cream or whatever, a patch, you know, or a sniff, and you're technically on steroids. But if you don't use any ever again, then obviously it clears your system within a few hours for a lot of the stuff in terms of the effect that it's having, because it'll bring your levels up and then they're coming back down. All right, so you could rub some testosterone gel on your stomach. I've done that before. You feel the surge, it's almost like a bit of LH surge, and you feel it for a few hours. Few tingle in your pecans, and then that just goes away, and then your levels come back to normal what they were before. You know, so you get a surge for a few hours and then down. Right? It's very, very minor. So you get that same surge from laying in the sunshine, you know, exposing your pecans or your walnuts, or in my case, tennis balls. So laying in the sunshine, exposing your goods will definitely give you a surge in testosterone. 100% it will. It won't give you that, you know, that 1,000 microgram surge that you get from the fake natties, but it'll give you a surge nonetheless. So that will help. Going to bed at 8 p.m. will definitely give you a surge in testosterone, 100%. And I can say this not because I read it on the internet, because, yeah, it's also on the internet, but I've experienced it personally myself, right? So when you know, inject intramuscularly some testosterone, some pharma grade, not some fake crap off the net, like some hospital source stuff, when you inject that, you feel that surge, you feel some tingles going on. And it's the same feeling you get when you have a big carb feed, a big thing of fruit, like a lot of fruit will raise your testosterone. Definitely, definitely. Again, not at the levels where you get to the, you know, fake natty bodybuilder status, but it will raise your levels nonetheless in men and women. Women get more sexual, things like that. That's a surge in T. Yeah, it's a surge in T. So that's what you get. That's what I love when people say, yeah. And it's like, you've never actually even done steroids, you know? How would you even know? How would you? It's like having a debate about Thailand. And it's like, bro, you've never even been to Thailand. How can you have such a strong opinion that I'm wrong, but you've never even been to Thailand? Yeah, how can you tell me about steroids? That person's on the steroids. No. How would you know? You've never used them. You've never trained with people. You've never administered. You've done nothing about steroids. Your opinion's based on nothing. You know, other than personal bias or whatever. It's not based on personal experience. It's based on personal bias because you want to protect your little cognitive dissonance, fairy tale, natty world, alright? So anyway, to rephrase, Nate Diaz, everyone is on steroids. Was it Nick Diaz? Nate Diaz. Nick Diaz. See, this is the reality. Very, very common drug. You know, millions of people use steroids every day, anabolic steroids. Millions. All over social media. They work. I don't recommend using them. If you had a medical need for them, different story. For me, what they did for me was they help you gain weight. Yeah? They're the best thing for gaining weight. People go, you get steroids, you get ripped, you get shredded. No, you don't. If steroids made you shredded, they might scrape a little bit of fat off your body, maybe. but mostly not. Like, go to any of these music festivals and you see thousands of guys on steroids, and how many of them actually shredded? Not many. And the guys who are shredded are massively dehydrated, starved down, cut down for that weekend. Right? So steroids do not make you shredded. Right? What they will do, if you've got low body fat, they can maybe drop it down a couple %, and they can help your abs store more sugar in them. All right. So if your muscles have more sugar, they pop more. So when you see me with really shredded abs, which is what I've always had, on or off, but when I've been on, the muscles can store a bit more sugar in the ab, and it'll just pop it up, boop, that much more. So if your body fat's really low, and you increase your ab muscle by that much, that makes a huge difference when your skin is so thin on your abs, okay? So that's why you see a lot of anorexics. They've got super low body fat, but you can't see their abs. You notice that? It's just like a sheet of fascia on their stomach. You're like, where's the abs? Because they don't have any sugar in the muscle. They've got the lowest of low body fat, but there's no sugar in the muscle because they're just starved. That's why, do you ever see anorexics with abs? They've got the lowest body fat, but there's no sugar in the muscle. So they can't get that pop. And that's why your muscles pop after you eat more carbohydrate. You get that pump going on there. So that's why I laugh when people say, oh, I'm low carb. But it's like, no, you're not. I can tell you're smashing in carbs because how your muscles look full. And I can also tell you're using steroids because your muscles look extra full, Because when you're on steroids, your body can store more sugar, more muscle glycogen. That's why I just laugh when people think Sean Baker doesn't eat carbohydrate and doesn't use... It's pretty obvious. If anyone who understands human physiology, if anyone who's used steroids, pharma grade, they can see that clearly. So one, I don't recommend using steroids. Exception would be if you've got some sort of severe medical need for it. Okay, there's a time and place for pharma. Otherwise, you're dancing with the devil, aren't you? And you do your own homework on that one. What else are we going to talk about? Yeah, man, raise your levels naturally before you start. Why use a medication, if you could do it naturally, Why have side effects if you do something naturally? If you want to be a bodybuilder, yeah, you ain't going to be a bodybuilder naturally. All those guys out there, the vegans or the non-vegans, they're all using anabolic steroids. Anyone you think, wow, that physique looks impressive, wow, that's anabolic steroids. I'm not talking Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's like high levels of anabolics. I'm talking Matt Does Fitness. I'm talking, the vegans crew. Not to be, just to be totally honest and open, not to be biased or whatever. Just to be totally fair. Steroids are part of the deal, man. It's the aesthetics crew. If someone's in the aesthetic scene, that male aesthetics, it's steroids. If they're a female in the aesthetic scene, largely it's going to be surgery, which again, it's fine. But don't lie to people saying you've had no breast implants or butt implants, but you have, and you're selling someone a booty rounding ebook. It's like, hurry up, man. Some sociopaths out there. Get surgery if you want. Do steroids if you want. But don't lie to the teenage audience saying, no, man, I just work hard. That's sociopathic. Sociopathic. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, I wish that anabolic steroids was more of a discussed topic versus these fake natties lying about it, like Kino Body, Athlete X. All these people are using and abusing anabolic steroids without question. I put my life on it. And then they go and do a blood test and they've got low testosterone. And they're like, see guys, I'm clean, I'm clean. And it's like, they're not just denying, not even they're actually overtly lying about, no guys, I don't use nothing, man, I'm clean. There's a difference to lie about it by not answering the question, but to actually answer the question and say, guys, I'm clean, look at my test. I've got low T, but I look staunch as. You watch me because I look staunch and have an incredible looking physique, but I've got low T. You see, guys, I'm clean. Look at my testosterone based, this is how naive people are. How can you have a testosterone looking physique when you got low T? When you got low T, you look like that. You got no muscle. I should say no muscle, but very, very little muscle. You're more of a marathon runner or a cyclist. Because if you take testosterone as a cyclist or runner, you sprout more muscle. Now, if you're doing extreme training, no, you'll just maintain a bit of weight. But if you take too much, you'll just hold more water, more muscle, and that's not good as a cyclist, especially upper body. It's dead weight for cycling. Anyway. Cat fur. This cat fur allergy is coming back. I know what's going on. It's been good for ages, now it's coming back. There's some steroids in my nose. But anyway, that's the deal there. Steroids is part of nature in the YouTube fitness world. Fitness, it should be called fitness world. Doing steroids isn't fitness. Doing steroids and going to the gym and looking swole isn't fitness. That's aesthetics. Cool, do it. It should be called the YouTube fitness scene. It's the YouTube sociopath scene. Athlean X, Matt Does Fitness, Nick Bear, blah, 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 blah. All these people with big subscriber bases claiming Natty, Matt Ogus, Twin Muscle Workout, all these crew. Claiming, actually, Twin Muscle Workout look like the Natty now. But, all these crew out there, just these incredible physiques that no one else is getting. And it's using steroids, and they're saying, I'm Natty. Like, that's sociopathic. It's the sociopathic scene. It's not the YouTube fitness scene. It's the YouTube sociopathy scene. How much money can we steal and defraud from all the noobs out there? That's just wrong, man. That's wrong. I think professional athletes should be allowed to dope because it's just entertainment, But these people out there who are lying about using steroids and selling books or low-carb muscle forum, all those sociopathic scammers out there doing this stuff. That's just like Sean Baker, etc. It's sociopathy. I'm repeating myself, but yeah, it's sociopathy on steroids. Do it natural as much as you can, which is pretty easy. If you want just normal levels, go to bed early, carb up, kill your stress, stop the caffeine, never do fasted training. Fasted training raises cortisol. Cortisol is the antichrist for testosterone. Okay? Do these things, you'll have your testosterone come up naturally. Boom. If you want to look like Matt Does Fitness and all those other steroid users, then yeah, that's part of the program. Otherwise, keep it natty. Thanks for watching.